Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, you tell it, because you can do the voice better than I can.
Oh my god. Went to Bojangles, right?
Yeah.
There's this group of freshman girls, and one of them goes...
I already hate this.
Oh, yeah.
It's bad, yeah.
It's bad. She goes, oh my god, my roommate came into the room at 1:30 a.m. last night. Can you believe that? I'm like,
Can
what
you
the...
believe that?
Like, I try to go to bed at like 11 every night. I'm like, bitch.
Honey.
Bitch, are you okay?
You still have a bedtime.
Uh-huh.
That you've inflicted upon yourself.
You still haven't realized that time is a construct.
That's good parenting. But no, yeah, I'm lucky if I go to bed at 1:30 like on a school night.
Mm-hmm,
Ever.
what I said.
My response to that was like, that's a Tuesday.
I don't think I've gone to bed at 1:30 in like years.
Me neither.
I mean, there are those days where like days like today where like
I mean, yeah,
I
sure.
came back from work and I immediately just wanted to go the fuck to sleep.
Yeah, sure.
But I had been chugging so much caffeine throughout the day that it was just, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'll take naps.
I'm not going to incriminate my
During the day,
boss
but-
either, so I'm not going to say what I do or how I do it. Let's just
I
say these. No, I'm not going to say.
Yeah, let's not bring work into the podcast space.
I'm going to use my voice for dissing my job in place of work.
Let's not bring work into the podcast space.
I love
Listen,
my job. I love
Some of
my
us have to take naps because we need to sleep off our very bad hangover so we don't throw up on the floor again.
I did that during my break today.
How long is your break?
Well, they canceled one of the shows, so I got like a good 2 hours in between shows.
Mm-hmm.
So I put my radio next to my ear and I dipped the fuck out and passed out.
Wow.
Yeah. Hell
Cool.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
This Jack is killing the fuzz of the fuzz.
You want some of this. Put this in there.
Ew. Drink more water.
Anyways.
I just can't find the word. The fizz.
The fizz.
Of this
Oh
Dr.
my
Pepper.
gosh.
That was a good 10 seconds where I couldn't think of the word fizz.
Fizz.
You've had 2 sips of Jack. You can't even think of words.
Been a long day.
Oh boy. What's this show?
I don't know. No, that reminded me of something last night where I was talking to a girl and she was just like, oh, what's that word when you're trying to like reiterate something? I went, reiterate? And she went, yeah! And I was
no. Wow.
I hate that.
like,
Wow.
that was the state people were in last night.
Yeah, all of us, really.
I was in Oklahoma.
Cool. Cold open?
Speaking of Oklahoma, music.
What is this, a slam poem?
It's a transition. So yes.
That was terrible.
This is that. That's me on my Segway. Let's go.
This is a podcast called Banger Police. That's the segue.
Oh.
Wow, way to be upfront about it. Look, we were just doing it in some like uncanny, like really weird way. But if you want to go straight into it,
That's going around the elbow to get to the ass, as I always say.
yeah.
Okay.
Good.
You know that thing I always say?
Yeah. You just always trying to
I've
get to
heard
the ass. Or
Going around the elbow to get to the ass.
No, I've heard
It just,
that thing.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a saying where we're from. Man.
You know, like how you
It's
lie to your
a
parents.
Zebulon / Hillsborough thing.
Okay.
You from
All right.
Columbia, you wouldn't understand.
All right.
Yeah, you city folk over here.
All right, let's get going.
Let's go.
We consider South Carolina city folk.
Which is great.
That's how bad it is. All right, let's go.
All right. Yo.
What's your name, Brandon?
My name's Luke.
No.
No, it's not.
No.
Your name's not Luke, and you fucking know it.
Okay. My name is Brandon.
My name is Luke,
I'm Maddie. Hi.
and this is
And I'm also Luke.
and this is Banger
Banger
Police. Okay, you did it with me.
Now
Hey,
we're gonna do
by
it.
the 3rd episode, all of us will do it.
I don't believe you.
I don't either. I don't believe myself.
Oh man.
Whoa.
All right, episode 2.
What are we? Episode 2. We made it.
We made it.
We made it.
Look, Mom, I made it.
That's the
Mama
threshold.
made
The
it.
threshold. If you made it to the 2nd episode, trust me, we're gonna get better at this.
If you make it to the 2nd episode, you made it to the 100th episode. That's basically the rule.
Yeah, basically. It's like when they pick up like a 6-episode season, and then they go, yes, you have 100 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless
If-
you're Disney Channel, and then you cancel after
If 3 episodes
99,
work,
so that you don't have to reimburse them. Like they did that to The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and then they rebooted like The Sweet Life on Deck, and we're like, no, we don't have to do reruns because we only do 99 episodes. I mean, Disney's not a fun corporation.
Did you hear how they
Yeah,
so the twins pitched them an idea
Yeah.
and they were like, no, that idea's bad. And then they pitched basically their idea back to them and said, but then we had Selena Gomez. It's our idea, so you don't get any of the credit for it, and we're not gonna pay you. And they said, bye, see you later. So that's why they quit the Disney Channel.
Yeah, Disney. Disney. Not. It's a corporation with a mouse as a mascot. You know.
So
Good
this is-
cartoons.
Anyways, let's not talk
Yeah,
about
so
Disney.
this
on the
is
music
Banger
pod.
Police, a podcast about Disney and how that sucks.
Last episode was sponsored by Big Pharma. This time we're sponsored by what's Disney's?
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks. Yeah, fuck Disney. This is DreamWorks. We Shreking up in here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so our first segment.
Somebody. Sorry.
My top pick of the week.
Yeah, so top picks
Smash
of the.
Mouth by All Star.
Did you say Smash Mouth by All Star?
Yeah.
Definitely All Star by Smash Mouth.
That was.
Yeah,
Mm.
that was a bad joke. It wasn't funny. Yeah, so top picks of the week is our usual first segment.
Our favorite songs. Or songs we were just like, I want to talk about this. There are a lot of songs I had this week where I was like,
Brandon and I have
This
one.
makes me feel very indifferent, but I need to talk.
Brandon, you and I have one for sure.
Sure, yeah.
Oh.
Let's start with the ones. You go first, Luke. and
No,
I'll-
Maddie, do you have something? Because
Oh, well,
I know what I'm
me and
doing.
oh boy, I don't know if I want to bring this up because Brandon will feel very proud of himself. So listen, Tints by Anderson .Paak and,
Hey.
featuring Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so the song came out and Brandon would like play
Yeah.
it and he was like, "Oh my God, listen to
Yay.
this song!
Oh.
This song is great!" And I just was like, "Shut up, Brandon."
As she does.
Which I do, and then like 3 weeks later, I'm like, you know what song slaps? Tints by Anderson
Intense.
.Paak.
It's good.
Is it Pack or Pac?
It's Anderson .Paak.
I've been saying Pac.
That's okay. I did
Cool,
that too.
great. All right. There's so many A's in such a
Yeah.
little word.
Yeah.
Why are
Two.
they together?
It's just
Why is there a period? I don't know. He's cool as shit. Saw him on Hot Ones, and he completely
I love
won me
Anderson.
over.
Best teeth in the game.
God, he's so nice.
Got
Oh
some
my god,
choppers.
but he's still like cool as shit.
Yeah.
Like I like when people can be nice, but then still have like a bunch of swag. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
hell yeah, I live for that shit.
Ever since I heard him on Dang by Mac Miller, I knew he was.
Oh, you know I
so
fuck
that's
with
a
that
swag.
song. Oh, that song's so good.
Come Down is still my favorite.
Yeah.
But-
Malibu's good. No,
Yeah.
wait. I just realized this the other day. He had Malibu. And now he has Oxnard.
Yeah.
Eventually, he's gonna get down to San
he had
Diego.
Venice first,
Oh yeah.
and then he did Malibu, and now he's doing Oxnard.
Yeah. 2021, Anderson .Paak is dropping Tijuana.
Sacramento.
Sacramento.
I think they're all important places in his life.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
No hate.
No.
No,
hate.
no,
hate.
no.
If anything.
But yeah.
Episode 3. That's all I'm going to talk about. Is that fucking Anderson .Paak.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
it's
gonna
gonna
talk
be
about that.
it's gonna be great. November's loaded.
But
We'll
yes,
get to that.
November is huge.
But Tints is really fun. Like
Yeah.
genuinely, it is a good song.
I need tints.
Like it's like the chorus, like little like what's it's saying is so funny and it's clever. It's really good. And then of course you have like Kendrick on it, which makes any song like 10
Yeah.
times better. So
Want me to ruin that song for you?
no.
Well, you have to say it.
Imagine him saying, "I need tits."
That ruins it. That makes it so.
Well, I mean, like once you can't unhear it.
Oh my gosh.
all 5 people that listen to this podcast have now had that song ruined for me. But
5? I think 5 is pushing it
Okay, I'm being generous.
to us.
Did you have any other picks, Maddie?
No, that was really I think it.
Dope. Do you Luke wanna go next?
Yeah,
Yes. Do.
I want to talk about Sunflower
Ooh yeah.
Oh my god.
by Sway Lee and Post Malone. Some
Ooh.
good shit.
That was some good shit.
Primo shit.
That is
Damn.
Post Malone doing synth pop. I didn't think I'd like it,
Wild.
but I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Always tired.
I can't say I'm too familiar with Sway Lee.
Sway Lee. You know Ray Shmurda?
No, I know
Yeah.
it's them. I know
Yeah.
it's them.
Yeah. No, yeah, I also like.
I didn't know them that
Most
well.
people only know Sway Lee, and that group as a whole from features. No one did anyone listen to either of their double albums?
I don't think I didn't.
Because yeah. By the way, this came out over the summer. Now I wouldn't have talked about this if it came out today because I don't care enough. But Ray Shmurda put out a double album, and it was like there's 2 dudes in it, right?
Is that how it's pronounced?
I think so.
Okay.
If-
We were being such white people about this.
Yeah, it's drummer's ear backwards.
Taneki.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then just erase road.
Okay.
Yeah, but basically, they just both did solo albums like Outkast.
Yeah, I saw
but
that.
It
I
wasn't,
heard about it.
It wasn't an Outkast, so it wasn't.
So it wasn't as good.
It's not speaker box.
But aside from that,
Yeah.
Sway Lee
Sway Lee
on this
kills
song
that first
is
verse.
unbelievable. His voice is beautiful.
Oh yeah. Whoever produced this track did a phenomenal
Well, it's
job.
Post, normal producer, and a producer that SZA works with a lot.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I think.
Yes, Living With You and Living With You Adjacent is ridiculous because that's all that song is. Like, I heard that song so many times. Oh my god, I just walk into a room and I feel like, I'm like, is it Luke or Brandon? Let's find out.
I think that would be too much.
And just that rhyme scheme for the hook, which is so
And
impressive.
the spacing and rhythm of the hook is so weird. It's like kind of a little longer than most choruses are. And Post like jumps into it in the middle of his verse, which is surprising, but it's also kind of
the only
perfect.
criticism, which isn't a criticism, is the song is only 2 hooks.
Right.
There's no
It's
bridge,
only 2
there's
parts.
No vignette, but it's a good, solid,
But
catchy ass
I
fucking
think
song.
that really lends itself to just listening to it over and over.
Yeah, because it's just 2.5 minutes, and like the beat barely changes, except for those parts where the guitars come in and sit down. Oh god.
And the
So
part
good.
where
What a
the music
beautiful
video,
song. Oh, the music video.
Yeah.
which is
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
just Spidey-Man.
Hype for that movie.
Spider-Man, that
Into the
movie.
Spider-Verse. It's gonna be
Hype
good.
for that soundtrack.
Yeah.
Let's tell you that's the only good song. You don't know nowadays, you know.
Usually, that's the thing though. Usually they put out the best song first. They lead with their best foot,
Yeah,
which makes sense.
yeah.
We'll get to soundtracks when I talk about my spooky playlists.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Brandon, what you got?
I had a few tracks. Gerard Way put out a new song for Halloween. That was cool. That's.
Oh, yeah,
I wanted to throw that in there. Gerard Way put out. I support Gerard Way in his endeavors. He started writing comic books now.
Really?
Yeah, he's put on weight. Like he looks healthy now instead of like his skinny little twisted self from like My Chemical Romance days.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he writes comic books and like does solo stuff now. So
awesome.
it's like, yeah, dude's living the life.
I love how we seem to somehow make music nerdy. We've talked about
Yeah.
comic books and Spider-Man. We're
Yeah.
trying to talk about Post Malone and like.
I mean, My Chemical Romance, especially.
And Post is
with
kind of
their
nerd
albums.
himself.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
so true.
Yeah.
Little Posty. Hello,
Little
Little
Posty.
Posty.
Yeah. No, the
It's a
new
janky
Gerard Way
one.
song is cool. Not a whole lot to say about it. It's just cool.
Okay.
There's the I had a list here. Oh, Bleed Magic by I Don't Know How, but They Found Me.
How about they found me?
I found
that
them.
name.
I found them. They have some good songs. It's
Oh, that
basically,
name is so bad.
I don't know how.
I
but
don't
Brandon
know.
found them.
So
I don't want
bad.
to get this wrong, but it's 2 members. It's 2 former members of Panic! At
Oh,
the
Panic,
Disco.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure which ones. Let me.
Here's the thing about that. If it's not Brandon.
Yes, I'm paying attention.
No, I'm saying if it's not Brandon.
Oh.
It's not Brandon Urie.
His name is
It's
pronounced
not Panic at
Brendan.
the Dis-
It's Brendan Urie, and then it's me, Brandon.
Oh my
Brandon
God.
Urie, Brandon Watkins.
Yeah.
Guys,
He has an E, I have an A.
I'm still drunk.
Okay, that's fine.
From
From
last
yesterday.
There we go.
Am I drinking currently?
It's Dallin.
Absolutely.
It's Dallin Weeks from Panic! At the Disco fame and Ryan Seaman from Panic! At the Disco fame.
Sorry, what's his last name?
Ryan Seaman.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I'm assuming it's spelled SEAMEN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yes, I hope it's spelled
Middle
that way
school
too.
was hard for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was probably really emo, so of course it was hard for him.
It would have been hard for him
It
regardless.
would have been hard for him regardless. Yeah, their new song Bleed Magic is really cool. I don't know how they found me. They have like 4 songs.
Yeah.
They have an EP coming out November.
Can we talk about that name for a second?
I don't know how, but they found me.
It's
Yeah.
not a good name, guys. It's
No.
a bad name.
I don't want to say it's bad. It's just kind of overthought.
Yeah.
You know,
They put
I
a lot
don't
of-
dislike it.
Yeah, it's funny in a way.
It's kind of memey, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny, like Brandon was saying. Like, I remember when he first told me about them, and
I
I
don't
was like,
know.
"Oh, I hate that name." But he's like, "It's kind of funny though, because like you do have to search for their songs. Like
Yeah.
nobody's just like
Yeah.
playing them. You do
Yeah.
gotta have to search for it."
Yeah, the only place that talks about them is Alt Press, but Alt Press talks about every fucking album. So
So
that
you're not
doesn't really
special.
count. Yeah, they're not special. They have some good songs. I like Do It All the Time. That was another song they put out in promotion for the EP, which another November release, November 9th.
November's
Oh
popping.
boy, November's gonna be hard for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard, I mean good.
Capping off
Good.
with 1975.
Yeah, November 30th.
We're gonna mention that every episode.
Are you guys excited for the new 1975?
My dick is so ready.
So my third pick of the week, and this is one of my mad picks. Wonderful Life by Bring Me the Horizon. I just want to talk about Bring Me the Horizon.
We don't have to.
Either of you guys familiar with Bring Me the Horizon's
I am.
story?
Not their story. I just know.
I
They
know.
are.
I know they think Coldplay stole cover art from them when they just used the flower
Yeah,
of life, and that's
yeah.
the universal symbol.
Yeah, that was kind of dumb. That album's really good.
If
Seven
anything,
Turtle was
they're
one
just
of my favorite
appropriating
records.
culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of them.
Plus, they use different
Yeah,
schemes.
that's
too.
what I'm
It's
saying.
Different color scheme.
Yeah.
I love when white men fight over who thought of something first, and it's definitely not even theirs to begin with. Oh my god.
It wasn't even a fight though, because Coldplay didn't engage.
Coldplay didn't care.
Yeah.
Bring Me
It
the
was
Bring-
like, no.
They were
So,
just
the
like,
thing is, Bring Me
bullshit.
the Horizon, their first two records were like deathcore albums, and I really like their second deathcore album, Suicide Season, one of my favorite albums in middle school. That was like all my shit. And then the really long one is There Is a Hell, Believe Me I've Seen It, There Is a Heaven, Let's Keep It a Secret.
That's the title?
Of the album.
Yeah.
No.
That's-
It's a song title.
Oh wow.
No, that's the album title.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I was gonna say
It's the
that's
album.
like the same length as I Like It When You Sleep. For
Yeah.
You're So Beautiful Yet So
Yeah.
Unaware of It.
And that's one of my favorite. Not even like that was more of a transition to metalcore, and like it's not even one of my favorite like metalcore albums. It's one of my favorite albums, like period.
Mhm.
I love that record. Alligator Blood, Crucify Me, the song with Lights, which I'm forgetting. It might crucify me. But Lights is on a song. I just remember she's on a song. That's a great album. And Sempiternal was their transition to like new metal, like radio metal.
Yeah.
And like was cool because Ollie was still like using his traditional vocal style, which I prefer more now. And I understand like he did ketamine and he fucked up his voice, and so now he has to sing. He can't sing, but he does his best. But their last record, That's the Spirit, was more radio metal, and like that's a cool transition for them, like because they started as deathcore and they just slowly like it got accepted as a radio metal, but also it's radio metal.
Such a weird genre name.
Yeah. Well,
And
it's just
genre.
like metal that get played on the radio, like
Yeah.
Five Finger Death Punch or Avenged Sevenfold.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but the new song "Wonderful Life" is probably the heaviest song they put out since Sempiternal,
Uh-huh.
and it's cool. It features Danny Filth, who is in a European black metal outfit.
Interesting.
He does the breakdown.
Now, what's black metal?
Black metal.
There's a lot of metals, and I can't. keep-
Black metal is like, it's definitely up there with like death metal.
Death
It's like,
metal. Yeah, it's kind of
like the heavy shit.
Yeah.
We really can't talk
It's like-
about this.
it's
People
like-
will get upset.
Yeah, black metal is like
We don't know.
gothic, like creepy, like they talk about like that's the stuff where they think people talk about Satan. A lot of black metal outfits, a lot of black metal outfits are Satan. Like
Yeah.
like just like that's not even like a bias. Like I listen to a little bit of black metal, and it's especially Swedish black metal. They love
Yep.
some Satan. They
Ooh,
love
boy.
them some
I
Satan.
listened to I listened to another podcast, last podcast on the left,
Okay.
and
Nice.
they did.
It's great.
It's phenomenal. I
Yeah.
hate to plug another podcast on this podcast.
We're
Well,
but
just
listen,
getting
it's-
intertextual
But
as fuck.
God, it's so good, and it's really popular. A lot of people have heard of
Yeah.
it. But they did a whole thing on Swedish like death metal and Swedish black metal,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like all
Like,
the
you
crimes that are
get-
associated with it.
In Sweden,
It's
like certain
crazy.
companies, you get sick days for going to shows. Like
That's crazy.
not even like an exaggeration. Like you get
So-
sick days.
Yeah,
Bruh.
my
Universal healthcare helps. Like that's
Is-
all I'm saying. Obama
Universal healthcare is
tried.
rad.
My favorite.
Anyway,
Anyway, just real quick.
We always
this
get-
guy named Death.
yeah.
Was in it, and they kept talking about how Death kept wanting to be dead, and that he used to like bury his clothes in the ground
Yeah.
so he would smell like a corpse, and like all this stuff. And then Death killed themselves, and they were all like, "Well, yeah, his name is Dead." Like, I don't know. That's
wow.
probably
Yeah.
gonna offend some like metalhead out there, but
Yeah.
I always thought that was the funniest story.
Well,
Death-
yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, Death did die," and then anyways.
And then my final song pick. I
Man,
told
you're way
y'all,
more prepared than we
I
are.
had a fucking list. A lot of shit came out this week that I was hyped for.
I'm prepared for my school.
Mostly like hyped for it. I didn't prepare a playlist, but
I did.
I have an idea. Like I have a playlist.
I
that's
did.
I did too. So look,
I have a
we
fall
battled
playlist.
But then Brandon and I are gonna have a feud at the end about.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna
certain
fight.
things. We're gonna fight.
Fisticuffs up in here.
It's not gonna
We
matter.
cleared out the jam room. We're ready to fucking fight.
It's not gonna really matter because to the podcast because no one's gonna see it.
Okay. Well, here,
I'll narrate.
it'll be like this.
That's
It'll be
what
like
I don't.
I just hit Luke in the
And,
face.
and Maddie's gonna be like, okay, well now Brandon's just smacked him in the face.
Yeah.
Okay, they're taking their clothes off for some reason. I don't really know what that's about. Oh wait, guys, I might need to. Never.
But the last song, the song I was most anticipated for, but ultimately didn't fulfill the hype, I guess. Andreas.
Oh yes,
My-
the new Andreas
My sweet
for the album.
my sweet emo pop boy. I love Salty. I loved Strange Memories in the Night. His debut album it's so good. For emo pop, it's
I like
really,
Self-Aware a lot.
Really good. Self-Aware is really good. He's honestly like up until this point, not a single song where I'm just like, you know what? I can at least put that on in the background and be like. And this new one, it just felt like someone was like, hey,
Yeah, you showed me.
try and write one of his songs in 5 minutes, and I was
Yeah.
that's it.
It sounds like one of those videos like how to write a Chainsmoker song
Yeah.
in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It sounds like how to write an Andreas
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
And like I'll plug Andreas. Listen to Andreas. All of his songs are great, but this new one, Rompims and Mimosas, which
It's a weird name too.
Rompims, I didn't think we would be talking about those in 2018, but he did it.
Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to say by Rompim and Mimosas. Maybe that.
It's just an aesthetic, dude.
It's
I
just
mean,
an
I guess-
aesthetic, yeah.
He should have done Rompims and Froze though. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Or Manmosas, which is another thing.
Man,
Man, mimosas.
Also, by the way, you're just drinking mimosas and you're just wearing a romper. Just
Yeah.
be confident enough to say that you're doing one of those things.
Yeah.
Don't put
Yeah.
man in the word.
congratulations, Andreas. You're self-aware.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still really excited because Zombie, you know, I've been singing that song in the shower for months. Zombies is my fucking jam. So I'm still really excited for Heroes, Villains, and all that jazz. November 23rd.
I like that title.
November
Yeah,
23rd.
that is a good title.
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast where we literally talk about how the names of things.
Yeah. Oh, I like that name.
Title Police.
Title Police. Yeah, we're not really policing any bangers.
We
right
do
now.
2 episodes of Banger Police and then we do a spin-off
Because like a lot of
podcast.
songs came out this week, and like Tints came out a couple weeks ago. But I'm glad we brought that up.
I just need
Sorry, I thought you said tits for half a second.
I need
Well, that's what he
tits.
said it. Nice.
I've ruined it for you. And so my last pick for the top
Oh
Yeah,
my
you
gosh, you
have.
have another one?
is an album, which I'm.
You keep
really
saying your
excited.
last pick.
This is the album I was anticipating.
Okay.
And this one did live up to the hype. It is "Pieces of a Man" by Mick Jenkins.
Okay. Now who's
Yeah.
Mick Jenkins?
Mick Jenkins is a Chicago hip hop artist from SoundCloud fame.
Mhm.
I actually, back when I was just scouring SoundCloud for new rappers back in like 2013, 2014, I caught a few of his singles leading up to his breakthrough mixtape, Water, which that's one of the most iconic like underground like ad libs, like just like if you
Wait,
know if
I
you
think
know
I know
Mick
that.
Jenkins-
I think I know that. I think
Yeah.
I know Water.
Yeah, but that's
Why
like
did
one of
you
his
cut
that's
off
like one of
this?
his that's like one of his go-to ad libs, especially for the Water. That mixtape is like drink more water. And
Yeah, no, I've heard that.
He's definitely like all about that hydration, and it's like
Yeah, that shit's funny.
yeah. You go on a comment thread and you see someone like it's like the dislike
Water.
the dislike thread is like 37 people dislike this, like 37 people are dehydrated. And it's like that's a funny thing to have behind it. But I haven't really like dug anything as much as I dug his debut album mixtape since then in 2014.
Mhm.
But this one, Pieces of a Man, that's really fucking
Pretty tight.
good. Really fucking good. 17 tracks. A few of them are skits, so it evens out to like 12, 13 songs.
That's
A few
about
skits.
average, yeah.
It's an hour long.
That's about.
It's
That's pretty standard.
just really vibey. It's like whenever he does cloud atmospheric rap, it's like him on his A, and he gets really shiny production. He got Bad Bad Not Good on the song.
Mm.
Oh, they killed it. And what was one producer?
Is
Black Note?
English their second language?
Bad Bad Not Good.
Yeah.
No, I think they're just like a.
It just kind of sounds like bad, not good. Just
Bad, bad,
that
not
sounds
good.
like something
Not good.
like
Well, they
if
can
you
do
weren't
bad,
that
bad,
I'm not necessarily comfortable with like the English language. That sounds like a sentence you might say.
Let's
I'm not trying
Bad,
to be.
bad, not
let's
good.
together sad.
Let's,
It's really vibey. Throws back to his original sound a lot. It's very mixtapey, and for I guess as an album, it doesn't like have an overall structure. There is a structure there, but it's not as tight.
Structure and narrative is
There's a structure and a narrative, but it is more mixtape like than album like in that sense.
Sure.
The features are great. He knows how to use features. Ghostface Killah,
dude,
he killed it on Padded Locks.
My man.
Halfway through Ghostface Killah's verse, he just goes and fuck Donald Trump or something like that, and I was just like, God, this is fucking great. It's just the way he said it.
Miss you, Ghostface.
I miss you, Ghostface. But yeah, Mick Jenkins and all of his features. Mick Jenkins has such a great flow too, especially on these more atmospheric beats. He knows how to flow. Production is so fucking pretty. There's like one song, the song, I don't know if Black Milk produced a lot of songs, but there's one song where I just wrote like those ascending keys. That was literally my note. I was like, Black Milk with those ascending keys. I was just like, hell yeah.
Nice.
I didn't write down because I was like eating lunch and I want to decrease on my phone.
I feel that.
Because that's how I review music. I'm just stuffing my face and I'm like, oh, it was great.
Oh, this is
Oh, it's great.
Oh, it's great.
All right.
All right.
Can we get to this?
Good shit.
playlist?
All right. This
I wanna-
Favorite tracks. Okay, Cons, Little
off
Nicky,
of that one.
kind of scattered, more mixtape like, but favorite tracks. Padded Locks, phenomenal. Reginald, phenomenal. Gwendolyn's Apprehension, phenomenal. Soft Porn, that beat, ugh. Yeah, no, this song's where he talks about like growing up in Chicago or like relationships and sex and whatnot. He really just like makes you feel like in his shoes, like it's like I'm there.
Go
So
on
there's
like
a
this.
song, U-Turn is really nice. Smoke Song featuring Bad Bad Not Good. Yeah, it's a Smoke song. Yeah, it's really fucking vibey. That closes the record. And then the song I want to talk about the most, Consensual Seduction, is the least corny and most effective song I've ever heard. Just being like, hey, all I need is consent, and then I'm gonna go off. And I was just like,
That's awesome.
I love that.
and it's like the opening line in his flow. I can't play it. I don't know. Can we play it? Can I just play that opening line? Cause like, I'll just say
I
it.
think so.
I'll just say it. Hold on. Or I can load up on my
But that
Spotify.
kind of reminds me of that tweet. You seen that tweet where a girl's like, yo, if I say for you to play with my booty, you better touch my badge or something like that. And then a guy responds like, it's 2018. We need some consent up in here.
Yeah.
This beat, first of all, he comes in, find it. Well, the female feature, she comes in with her perspective, and it's really nice as well.
Oh, that actually is great. What a gross song. And I don't mean it in that gross way.
Yeah. We just
Oh, I
yeah,
love
we
that!
just- yeah, I didn't want to try and do it because like the flow is just so spectacular. It's like I could
Cut the
put
tension
Nice.
in the room with a butter knife.
I was just like, oh my god, and then he just went off like 5 minutes.
That's great.
Yeah, that song was phenomenal. If I had to recommend like 3 songs to listen to, you should listen to Smoke Song, Padded Locks with Ghostface, and Consensual Seduction.
I'll check it out.
Such a good record. Such a good record.
Alright.
All right.
All right, you done?
I went off, but yes, I'm done.
All right. Okay,
I
now
have a suggestion. Can we possibly like go back and forth and share
Yeah.
some spooky songs?
I have how many songs? I have 9 that I want to talk about.
Okay. I have like once again. I've already had a whole playlist. I've had a playlist for years called Bitchcraft.
Yeah, of
Like
course.
that Drake Bell song.
No, not like the Drake Bell song. Like my actual aesthetic.
Well, kind of like the Drake Bell song
Okay. Sure, but
by name.
Yo, shout out Drake Bell.
Yeah.
No one's talked about him in a while.
I mean,
Except
okay.
for Kyla.
For a second, he put out that cover of Gucci Gang, and I was like, "This is bullshit." And then I listened to it, and I was like, "How is this kind of good?"
And then the cover art was like his Drake Bell like DB like as the
Yeah,
Gucci thing.
it was like a
kinda
perfect
dope.
recreation of
Yeah,
it. I was like,
kinda,
"Dude."
like,
what
yeah,
the hell?
Kind of slaps, but like I would never admit that.
Except here.
Except on
here.
this podcast. All right, but I gotta start it off with like a really underappreciated song. Okay, kind of pains. All right, I'll get into it and I'll get into why I'm a little embarrassed about it. I'm not embarrassed by the song. It's I Put a Spell on You, covered by Annie Lennox, and it is phenomenal.
It's so funny that you mentioned I Put a Spell on You because I have a cover of it also.
Oh my God! Seriously?
Not
Okay.
Annie Lennox, but I'll
But
get to
not
it.
Annie Lennox. I fucking love, like I said in the last podcast, I love women with like different kind of voices. I mean, Annie Lennox is the epitome of that.
I also have an Annie Lennox song in here.
Oh my God.
Y'all, my playlist is gonna be so different.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said
That's
being the
hilarious.
straight up.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I just
okay.
gave like an.
But
No,
the
continue,
reason
continue.
I'm a little embarrassed about it, and the reason you might have not heard this song too many other places besides where it is because it's the song that plays in the opening credits of 50 Shades of Grey.
Ah.
And it's exclusively on the 50 Shades of Grey
Soundtrack.
soundtrack, which I need to go off on a little tangent for a minute because that movie got too good of a soundtrack.
I know,
That
seriously.
soundtrack is fantastic.
Weekends.
It has 2 exclusive Beyonce songs on
Yeah.
it as well. It has it just has good songs. And
That's
so,
like the only thing the movie has going for it.
oh my gosh. And then it has like classics in it. It has like Witchcraft by Frank Sinatra in it.
Yeah.
It has Beast of Burden. And
By
it's
Stones,
like,
yeah.
by the Stones. And I'm like, why? Like, so I listen to that soundtrack and
It's
there.
dope. It
But
is.
it's so good.
They knew
but
what they
yeah,
were doing.
They did. So yeah, the first one I would say is "I Put a Spell on You" by Annie Lennox. It's a twist on a classic, and it's
By Nina Simone, right?
What?
By Nina Simone, right?
Yes,
Originally by her, yeah.
Yes, originally by her, but it's performed by Annie Lennox.
Shout out Nina.
Shout out Nina one time.
Okay, well, since you said that one, I'm gonna start with with my. Okay, so on mine, the playlist is called Spooky Boy, by the way,
A spooky boy.
and I have a cover of "I Put a Spell on You," originally by Nina Simone, by Alice Smith, and it's really kind of. I've listened to both versions, and Nina's is more like a traditionally Nina Simone song, like it's very soulful and everything, but Alice's version is like. It's very atmospheric, and I noticed, actually I was listening to it today, and I noticed that the riff on it, the guitar riff, is actually reversed. Like they played it, and then they reversed it.
Wow.
So it sounds really kind of like Interstellar in a way.
Yeah.
And then at the end comes in this fucking beautiful piano outro. Like her voice fades out, and it's just like for like a minute, it's just this like piano riff. And it's like 6.5 minutes long, the whole song, and it's so haunting. But yeah. So that's Nina Simone has some good stuff. I Put a Spell on You is a great song.
Yes, absolutely. The next song I want to talk about is called "Ghost" by ZZ Ward, which might be a little on the nose,
Yeah.
but it is, of course, it's actually not talking about ghosts. It's talking about kind of the ghost of a relationship and things like that. But ZZ Ward always kind of has like this witchy kind of like vibe of like, is the relationship dead because she killed it? Did she murder it? Maybe. She kind of makes it sound like that. And it's just a really cool kind of like haunting-y sound. And yeah, it would be like one of the first songs I'd play at like a party,
Yeah.
like a spooky party, because it would kind of set a mood.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be a party
spooky today.
We're gonna be
yeah.
spooky spooky.
We're gonna be spooky. So yeah,
Spooky.
I think it's good for that. Also,
Cool.
I like ZZ Ward. She's good.
Yo, y'all gonna keep talking about your playlist? I'm gonna be right back.
Alright.
Oh my.
I'm gonna grab a beer.
Um,
You guys want a beer?
Yes,
Can
please.
I get a tissue?
I can give you a beer. Can you wipe your nose on the beer? Yes, I'll get you a tissue.
You can't see my face, but it's unused.
Okay, I have a song called Ghost, also,
Luke.
by Mystery Skulls.
Oh my god.
And the sound of the song isn't super spooky, but the premise of the song, obviously, being named Ghost, is very spooky. It's just, so, quick tangent. Mystery Skulls is a project started by an American musician named Luis Dubuque. I hope I'm not mispronouncing that. He's originally from Nevada, I think,
Okay.
or Arizona, one of the two.
Sure.
And he had a job, and it just wasn't working out for him. And like he loves doing music. He's been doing music for a little bit. And so this song is about him leaving his old life behind and moving forward. Just kind of thank you.
Cool.
Brandon's back with the
I was
booze.
so unprepared. I didn't preset my beers.
We should do that from now on.
Just
But
crack open a cold one with the podcast.
cracking open a cold boy with the ones. Yeah, so this song is kind of autobiographical in that way. Ghost by Mystery Skulls, which you didn't
Oh,
hear.
I fucking love that.
Bop, right?
The new animated music video got me fucking.
It's
infuriated.
crazy, yeah. But yeah,
Am I gonna have to wait another 3 years for another animated music
I
video?
actually have opinions
They're
about
worth
that.
it,
We'll talk about that
but,
later.
Yeah. If we get to
Okay,
it.
Maddie, continue.
Okay. The next one, I talk about if we are doing this for like a party playlist. One that I think you should definitely have on it is "Ain't No Rest for the Wicked" by
Of course.
Cage the Elephant. Like,
Of
I
course.
think, come on, it just has that sort of vibe. Ain't no rest for the wicked. Like, this song is so good. I'm pretty sure we play this every single time people come over.
Money don't grow on trees, you know?
Yeah.
Money don't grow on trees. It's so fucking good. I love the idea also that you just talk with your mugger. The
Yeah.
person that's mugging you, you like.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
such a
I have-
funny.
where's that- I gotta ask, right? Why are you doing this? Like, I love that idea.
Yeah.
Like, I just think it's just the whole song is fantastic. That record is.
This is like a weird flex, but okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really funny. And then the
Take
whole
my
like,
money, but go off, I guess.
yeah, but and the fact that it's called "Ain't No Rest for the Wicked," you can get away with it
Yeah.
being spooky.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
My opener on the playlist is actually two songs put together because they're the two first songs, or the first two songs on the Doom soundtrack from a
Right.
couple years ago. So the first song, which isn't even really a song, it's just an opening narration called Dogma, and it's like this demonic voice talking about the Doom Slayer, who's the main character in the game, and like it's just like this mythological story about a guy who fought waves of like the denizens of hell, and then like all the ambience comes at like fades out and the voice just goes the Doom Slayer, and then the second song on it, which is called Rip and Tear, a great soundtrack by Mick Gordon. It just like tears into this like electro metal like vamp for like 6.5 minutes. So cool. That's the opener of my playlist. I just like really got to get into it at first.
All right, I think I just gotta mention it because I gotta mention it. It's the Rocky Horror soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky Horror Picture Show is the shit.
I mean, that has to.
Can't talk
If,
anything.
you gotta put that on.
You can't talk about spooky music about that
Can't
time.
talk
Rocky
about
Horror.
spooky and playlists. Oh my god. The time we're talking about, I don't know why I have a party in mind every time I make this when I was making this playlist, but talk about a party song. Oh my god, it's so much fun.
My name's Brandon, and I like to party.
And I like to party.
No,
No,
I'm the
I
only
like-
one that likes to party.
I'm the one who parties.
But yeah, I know that was kind of like a kitschy
Just random
thing to put
pop
on
rock
there,
reference.
but yeah. I know you shiver with anticipation.
Patient. I have a song by The Voids on my playlist called Pyramid of Bones.
Of course, I knew exactly. As soon
Yeah,
as
as soon as you see The Voids, well, it's got to be Pyramid of Bones because
Yeah.
it's like the most metal song on that album,
Yeah.
and the most metal song they've ever done.
Yeah.
'Cause
That's why I love it so much.
It's so like, just first of all, peak like devilish Julian Casablancas. Like
Yeah.
literally the first line in the song, "I'm a devil, I'm a villain." He's just like he's totally just like devious and on his bullshit.
Very
It's
on the
great.
nose.
Yeah, very on the nose of him, but I appreciate it. And then the last 30 seconds of the song is just like this, like kind of, there's like this just vamp, and Julian starts screaming over it, and that's the end of the song, and
Oh, yeah.
it's
Love that song.
perfectly paced.
Okay. So this is kind of a memey one, but you know, Halloween music revolves around sometimes memes. Does it not?
Does everything
Plus-
not?
Spooky skeletons
Yeah.
send shivers down my spine. It's not that song.
I
It's-
want to hold that thought real quick, Maddie. Just random note, Luke, do you remember that shitty cover of "This Is Halloween" that we heard at Guitar Center yesterday?
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up because it was bad.
It was terrible.
Do you know who it's by?
No.
Because I kind of want to know.
I
Because
kinda-
it was bad.
I'm kind of curious.
It was bad. It sounded like a mixture of Marilyn Manson, Chad Kroeger from Nickelback, and like Ozzy Osbourne
Yeah.
morphed into one, doing a shitty like radio metal cover
Radio metal cover of This Is Halloween.
and it was so bad. Even the guy at
Pretty
Guitar
sure
Center
it's
who was checking us out, which anyone at Guitar Center is the most emotionless person I've ever met. Even they were like, I hate this. This sucks.
Yeah. I did hear a little conversation about that song in the Guitar Center. These two guys, I think they were by the guitars, just like jamming around, and one of them was like, "Yeah, I like their album, but this new stuff is just weird, man. I
They
don't know
knew
what's
who it
going on."
was.
Yeah,
You gotta ask.
Should have asked.
I should have.
I didn't care. I was buying earplugs. I was in a hurry.
Yeah, we were in a rush. We had a.
Which you didn't use.
I forgot to use them.
You forgot to use your earplugs?
And you're the
Yeah.
drummer.
Yo,
It's fine.
those shits
I'm
work
21.
wonders.
It's fine.
Yeah, no, those things work wonders. Like, yeah. Yo, guys, wear earplugs when you go to rock shows. Like, I don't
Or
know.
when you play.
or when you play a rock show.
All right,
yeah.
Maddie, do you have any others?
Okay, yeah, but what I was gonna talk about Mimi songs
Yes.
is, and then I have one last serious song.
Yeah.
Then is it my turn?
Werewolf Bar Mitzvah
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
by Childish Gambino and Tracy Morgan.
Interesting.
It's actually probably Donald Glover, even though he is singing, but it was done as like a comedy bit, and it's hysterical.
Yeah.
Because it's got Tracy Morgan in it, and then the chorus is sung by who you think is Tracy Morgan, but it's not. It's actually Donald Glover doing an impression of Tracy Morgan, but Tracy Morgan is on the fucking
Is also in
song!
it.
It's hysterical! It's absolutely hysterical! Oh my god, and it's called Werewolf Bar Mitzvah. Like, what? It's so dumb. Oh, it's incredible. But yeah, if you want like a funny one, that one for sure.
All right, Brandon, go off.
Yeet. Alright.
And then we got to fight.
Oh, we gotta fight. Bro, I'm gonna give myself 5 minutes and we're gonna fucking fight. This is my Halloween playlist. It's called this is my fall playlist. I've been adding to this ever since I was like a freshman in high school, or not high school, college. It's the same shit. It's all the same. Kids, don't go to school. It's awful.
Calm down. That's not.
Stay in drugs.
Don't go to a corporate university.
Don't
What?
go to stay in drugs. Don't
Where do you
do
go to
school.
school? Like?
I'm not gonna shit on my university. I'm about to
Me neither.
graduate.
Yeah, I know, for real.
But it's called Emo Etc.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
That's the name of the playlist?
Yeah,
That's
it's
funny.
like emo, comma, etc.
ETC.
Yeah, etc. But so first song, "You Won't Love a Ghost" by Emarosa. Solid
Nice.
track. And then of course we have like most of "The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me" by Brand New because, duh. Like Archers, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I honestly
Jesus
for a
Christ.
minute thought you were just going, Jesus Christ.
No, that's the name of the Brand New song.
Of course it is. Jesus
We've
Christ.
got "Smoke" by Paris. We've got "Holy" by Paris.
Yeah, I think I have Holy
A lot of
Spirit.
Stone Sour and Slipknot, of course.
Yeah.
Bat Country by Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, nice,
Nightmare
nice.
by Avenged. Yeah, if you're gonna when I think
Almost
of
easy, dude.
Almost. Well, yeah. Almost easy. Bat Country,
Yeah.
Trashed and Scattered.
Yeah.
It's just like albums that just give me those vibes, and a lot of them have skulls in the album covers, so it's like pretty obvious what they're going for. And yeah, it's like this playlist is like 300 songs. I'm not going through all of them.
Yeah, so I'm guessing you're putting albums in there as opposed to individual songs.
Daisy by Brand New, "The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me," Dejan Tendu by Brand New. A lot of I've got which one is it? What's the name of the album? Modest Mouse.
Yeah.
Lonesome Crowded West. There we
Nice,
go.
nice.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
By Brand New is also again. Sick Transit Gloria Fades by Brand New. Classic song.
We Were Dead Before the Ship Even Sank by Modest Mouse by Brand New.
By Brand New. That's a Panic at the Disco title.
It is.
It really is.
It is, in fact.
Oh man, what else we got in here? Serpents by Neck Deep. Awkward by Dance Gavin Dance.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I just remembered one that I didn't say.
What was that?
Zombies by Childish Gambino. You
Yeah.
have to have that on there.
Yeah.
I mean,
All I see is zombies.
Honey Revenge, Dance Gavin Dance. Somehow, Dance Gavin Dance makes a song about stalking someone sound like nice. Until
Wow.
you read the lyrics and it's like, oh, this is.
Well, the police
not-
did it first,
this is
but
not- well, of course, the police did it first. Yes,
the
of
police
course.
did everything
Like
first. I
30
guess.
years before, but like.
somebody's watching me.
That's it.
Yeah.
To be fair, Dance Gavin Dance also did a hardcore song based off of Coming on a Girl's Face. Antlion.
That doesn't surprise me at all,
Yeah.
in the slightest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Antlion by Dance Gavin Dance. Great. Turn Off the Lights, I'm watching Back to the Future Part 2. And Part 1, of course. But
Why is there two parts?
Is in part one, of course, part of the title?
No, it's just Part 1. But like, Part 2 is my favorite. I don't know. I just really like Part 2.
Gotta be edgy, fam.
Even-
Can't like part one of Turn Off the Lights. I'm watching back.
No,
to
it's
the
just like the guitar solo at the end of Turn Off the Lights, I'm watching Back to the Future Part 2 is insane. Even though the
I
mixing,
can't take you seriously when you say that.
it's a great song.
I mean, it's a fine
You can
song.
show
It
me the
just-
song in the next week, and then we'll talk about it next time.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon, you know that band you sent me?
It's a Dance Gavin Dance song. You're not gonna like it.
So in
Probably
the last
not.
episode, Brandon said, talked about this band. I
Oh,
was like,
Skating Polly.
I still have not listened to this.
Listen to Skating Polly, Maddie. You're gonna like it. It's
I
a
probably will. That's the
To
thing.
complete
I will like
To complete the trilogy, you have to listen to them now.
Yes, I will. Next episode.
they're like
when maybe
they're
somebody
like
else
a
will listen
punk rock
to this.
girl group.
I know.
And
That's
they're
all
sisters.
I want.
They're sisters.
Brothers and sisters in what?
Brothers and sisters and what?
That was really funny. Last
Yeah.
night, the
Who
boys.
said that? Was that Sam?
I think so.
I think it was
I don't
Sam.
know.
That shit was
I
funny.
said it. I whispered it in the crowd, and then he said it out loud to you guys. But just so y'all know, the boys played a show last night, and they have a song called "Sisters." And the chorus is "We've got our brothers and sisters," and then it just starts over again, essentially. So the meme of it is brothers
Stop
and sisters.
memeing my song. I'm the only one allowed to do that.
The meme of it is brothers and sisters.
You literally
and
did
what?
30 minutes ago.
And like a lot of people hadn't heard them perform last night, but it was our couple of friends in the audience just went brothers and sisters and what? And then Braden's on the mic like they haven't heard the song, they don't know the band yet.
Yeah, I think I said it into the mic also.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah, it was you.
Yeah, I didn't hear it until you said
Yeah,
it.
which was
Just
like brothers and sisters and what?
Jesus H. Macy by Dance Gavin Dance. It's just getting into Dance Gavin Dance at this point.
Yeah, I kind of could tell that.
Lime Street, Neck Deep, and Heat Seeking Ghost of Sex by Dance Gavin Dance.
All
It's
right.
their most.
I
That's
haven't said
a
it.
great song.
I haven't said it in a minute. That's a great song title.
Heat Seeking Ghost of Sex was actually the first Dance Gavin Dance song I heard, and it's still my favorite because it's just like. It's like good enough where like Johnny and John are like screaming and singing it together, and it's like okay, this is cool. But like it's not John doing some weird shit. Just like it's my come to my Tiki Barbie PV party pee in the park or whatever he says.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Or I don't know much about computers, but you look like a child abuser. Like that's the same album, but like he toned it down for that song, and I was like, oh good, because that was my first exposure. I'd have been like, this is weird. That's weird.
I mean, it is weird.
I
It's
think-
just you're less bothered by it because you know them.
Yeah.
I think how we should introduce ourselves on the podcast now is hi, my name is Maddie. I'm addicted to Harry Styles, and then Luke should go hi.
My name is Luke. I'm addicted to Phoenix.
Hi, my name's Brandon. I'm addicted to cocaine.
No.
The song by Eric Clapton, you fucking
No,
asshole.
Yeah.
obvious. And then you would say Dance Gavin Dance.
Dance Gavin Dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then my last song on the playlist, Vermilion Part 2 by Slipknot. Good acoustic song by Slipknot. Spooky band. Cool. Yeah.
Spooky.
They
All
were
right.
masked for all their shows, not just Halloween. They're dedicated.
Yeah. All right, I think it's time we get into the cage match.
Ooh, I was right on time. 5 minutes. Alright, let's fucking fight.
Let's fucking
Ring
fight.
the bell, Maddie.
All right, Maddie, you gotta moderate. You gotta moderate, Maddie.
All right. So,
here we go.
The battle of today's discussion is Pinkerton versus the Blue Album by
By Weezer.
Weezer. What's superior? Let us begin.
We've
Let's
done our
start-
research.
All right.
Time for the debate.
I don't know your stance. I don't remember it.
I-
So I'm gonna select on which album album's defense I want to hear first,
Okay.
and then that whoever's album.
I was
that
like
is-
presidential debate. I see.
Yeah. Whose album ever that is that would like to go.
Okay.
first
Okay.
and start.
Okay.
All right, I want to hear the person's defense of Pinkerton.
Go, Brandon.
Well,
Oh, okay.
to no one's shock, the edgiest kid in the room
Oh boy.
Yeah.
likes the edgiest Weezer album.
Damn. I should have known.
Maladroit's pretty edgy too.
Maladroit's edgy, but no one listens to Maladroit except me because
I
it's
like
edgy.
I like Maladroit.
Yeah.
Too nice.
But this is extraneous. This is not what we're talking about. We're not
This is-
talking about
Pinkerton.
Maladroit.
This is like a post 2000
Pinkerton as
presidential
well.
debate where we're just like, oh no, you sir, please, you, no. Now I have to call you a cuck or something.
Yeah, now it's a 2016 election where we're like about to punch each other.
She's not a nice lady.
Surf wax America. It's fake news.
Please.
Fake news.
Die.
My
Right,
name
okay.
is Jonas. Some Jonases, I assume, are good people. No.
In the garage, I feel safe. Alright, no, continue with your.
So Pinkerton. Weezer, for their debut album. And I will start by saying that the Blue Album, my opponent, the Blue Album,
Yes, it is I, the Blue Album.
my opponent, the Blue Album, very well respected. I love the Blue Album.
No,
But-
we should say that up front. Both albums are great.
Oh yeah, no, I flip flop on this more than Donald Trump flip flops on anything.
On everything.
on
Yeah.
everything. I flip flop on these two constantly.
Yeah.
But overall, Pinkerton was not only more experimental and more true to, I feel like, Rivers Cuomo's deepest, darkest subjects as a songwriter that he hasn't gone through since then. Since I guess maybe Everything Will Be Alright in the End or the White Album.
I would say Everything Will Be Alright is probably the closest he's been since.
Yeah, and or Do You Want to Get High off the White Album? Since Pinkerton, since him going into his soul and really because the backstory behind Pinkerton is after he did the Blue Album, he did what any rock musician does after they put out a really successful album. He went to Harvard.
He went to college, yeah.
He went to college.
And he learned, and I assume there he learned about this fucking opera.
No, he went for English at first, but then went for music composition.
Mhm.
And he didn't finish for a decade because obviously he was touring all the time.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
he was walking around campus and he'd grown a beard and everyone was wearing his T-shirt, but no one knew who the fuck he was.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure that's gotta be
That's
something.
gotta fuck
to-
with you.
Yeah, everyone's like, I love Weezer. It's hey, yeah.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah, and he would he would try to hit on girls, and he was he would just be in his dorm room alone, and he would just be as lonely as he's ever been in his life, and
Weirdly, after he's put out a successful album.
That
yeah.
is
Yeah.
weird.
yeah, but and it comes across in this record because
It does.
songs like Across the Sea and Butterfly,
God, Butterfly's so good.
both closers for both albums are fantastic, but Butterfly
Only in
just-
Dreams and Butterfly are
Butterfly
so good.
just-
They're also in the same key, I realized today. I was listening to
Really?
both of them.
Hell yeah. But I have to pull up the track list because this whole album from start to finish.
El Scorcho is
Yes.
crazy.
El Scorcho is the closest that it was to the Blue Album
Yeah.
since then. But yeah, no.
Also, Tired of Sex is such a mood, dude.
Tired of Sex is maybe your mood.
It is.
I relate to his I relate to his stance on that. But songs like Why Bother, El Scorcho, Falling for You, Butterfly,
The Good Life is really some good shit
The
too.
Good Life, yeah. No, but Pinkerton is just so melancholy and sad, and it's
Yeah.
it's really just Rivers Cuomo at his most desperate and most
Mhm.
intimate, and I hate that at the time it just caused him to dwell further into that, and to the point that he
Yeah.
put out an album for 5 years after that.
Yeah.
They almost broke up because of Pinkerton, and that's really a shame that it took people.
Right, because it wasn't received very well at first, right?
Oh, not it. People fucking hated
People
it.
hated it.
Because you put out the biggest pop rock or power pop album of the decade,
Yeah.
and then you go just full on experimental pop punk or whatever this is, emo, alternate rock,
Yeah, I would say it's hard emo rock.
Yeah. And I mean, the Blue Album is like, it's just, it still has Rivers' emo lyrics, but it's just like upbeat power chords and whatnot. But here,
Sure.
especially with like the lead single El Scorcho, it's just like completely. Imagine the last song you heard by Weezer was Buddy Holly, and the very next song you hear is El Scorcho.
Can I say something real quick though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just every time I hear somebody say El Scorcho, I just feel like it's a white suburban dad talking about a really hot day. It's an El Scorcho.
I think
out there,
that's kind of
kids.
that's part of what he's
I
kind of
know,
tapping
but
into.
Weezer is our dad rock.
Yeah.
It's this
He's
generation's
the
dad
he's
rock.
the millennial dad rock.
Especially since he's 40 now, trying to write songs for like
Ugh,
15-year-olds.
I'm 40.
Hasta luego,
I'm
adios.
40.
Oh, I'm 40. Can I do my defensive Blue Album now?
Go ahead.
Hold.
Wait,
Yes.
wait.
So
Yes,
Luke.
it's your turn.
hold on 1 second though.
Wait, what do you?
It is.
I fucking hate you.
Hi, I'm a stage manager.
Hold.
But
Working.
yeah, Pink Triangle, I have to say, weirdly like sad, even though it's just like the whole point of the song is like, I'm dumb, she's a lesbian.
Yeah.
I really thought I found the one.
It's
like, I don't
it's
feel
interesting
bad for
though.
I don't feel bad for
When
him,
I
but I'm
first
just
heard
kinda
that
like,
song, I was like,
sadly, I
this hasn't aged well. But the more I thought about it, it was like, I was like, if I think about Pink Triangle in the context of the Blue Album, which a lot of the Blue Album, in my perception, is kind of like self-satirizing,
Yeah.
like white dudes being like, ugh, she doesn't like me.
Yeah.
And if you look at it in that context, which it is,
Weezer's always been that way.
Weezer's always been that way.
Yeah.
And if you look at Pink Triangle in that context, it's like,
Yeah.
this is just them taking that to another level.
Yeah. But Why Bother has to be one of my favorite Weezer songs. And Get You.
Get You.
Get You is so catchy. I don't know what it
Luke,
is.
come on, be more
Yeah, okay.
aggressive about your blue.
No, I mean, we haven't.
Oh, I'm gonna
Brandon
do
just
the
kept.
same
Brandon
thing.
just kept talking.
Do the same thing.
Okay, okay.
Brandon, shut the
Alright,
fuck
now-
up.
Okay,
Now
hold
go.
on.
All right,
Oh fuck, it didn't load.
it's fine. It's fine. We are now entering. Yeah.
And it didn't play all of it. It's fine. I hate myself.
I would like to point out, first of all, if you put Blue Album in the search bar of Spotify, it comes up because that's what it is.
No one calls it Weezer.
It's listed as Weezer, but it's Blue Album.
That's dumb. They have like 5
Okay.
albums called
Okay.
Weezer.
Here I go. You ready?
Here I go.
57 minutes. 58 minutes in, actually. Here we go. All right. I'm going to bank a lot on the fact that this is kind of, for a lot of people, this is like the Weezer album. Partially,
Literally called the Weezer album.
partially because it's the first. And I don't want to equate the first with the best, because that's always bullshit. That's always been bullshit. It always will be bullshit. But when you look at songs like Undone,
Oh yeah,
My Name is Jonas,
of course.
World's Turned Left Me Here, In the Garage, Only in Dreams. That's like half the album that I just listed.
Yeah. Both these albums, 10 songs.
Both these albums are 10 songs,
specific.
really tight, really great. I will say, to its kind of detriment and charm, Blue Album isn't the most consistent record tonally and generically.
No debut really is.
No debut is, because you have to kind of test the boundaries of what you're doing. And without getting into our shit, like, we're kind of doing the same thing with our music. So you have songs like Only in Dreams, which is like this, not literally a ballad, but emotionally a ballad. It's kind of fucking bleak.
Yeah.
And it closes the record. And same thing with Butterfly. It's like beautiful, but just heart wrenching. But then you also have songs like Buddy Holly,
Yeah.
which are just such a different flavor, and it gets a little. You think of those two songs specifically together, and it's kind of. You kind of think, well, they don't really. That doesn't sound like it's part of the same thing, but I think that's kind of part of what makes it so integrated, is that that's what I like so much about the Blue Album is that it kind of feels, it has that first album charm of we're throwing everything we can at this because this is our first shot and we have to make the first impression count. And they did, obviously, because everyone's like, oh, dude, fucking, my name is Jonas.
Yeah.
No one else. Like, and I think in some ways it's not as consistent as Pinkerton, but in a lot of ways it's more iconic than Pinkerton.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of for the same reasons that it's not as consistent. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Really, it's weird. My arguments kind of become they're the same quality, like they're equally good.
Yeah.
It's like not so much that
Not even
Blue Album's
defending.
better. I'm just saying like they're both amazing, and you should
I-
listen to both of them
I-
because they are.
Yeah. No, I just feel like if Blue Album inspired more power pop and pop punk, like an anti-Green Day, because like if you listen to Pinkerton, El Scorcho, there's a lyric about. She said to
He mentions
at the
Green Day,
concert,
yeah.
because apparently that was like a feud that happened because Dookie and the Blue Album came out like
They were
within months.
They were duking it out.
Yeah. And but then like Pinkerton inspired a lot of the emo rock we see nowadays. Like I know Remo Drive has said that their debut album was inspired by a lot
That
of
makes
Pinkerton.
sense.
Yeah, which Remo Drive's first of all, Remo Drive called their debut album Greatest Hits.
Yeah. And I didn't realize. We should talk about this also.
Yeah.
Just the fact that Pinkerton is based on an opera
Mm-hmm.
called Madame Butterfly, I think it's
Yeah,
called.
and that's why last.
And the main character in it is named Pinkerton. He's a soldier,
Yeah.
and he's just called Pinkerton because that's like his designation, or like his last name, which they usually that's a thing. And Butterfly, Madame Butterfly. It's like Butterfly is like the name of his love.
I love how like throughout the record, like he's like referring to like women as like he's like he can't obtain them and he's upset about that, or it's just like he just wants to feel something. He's tired of sex. He wants to feel more than something like that.
And then you have this revelation in Butterfly.
Because if you ever tried to catch a butterfly, it's
Yeah.
like almost impossible. And like he catches. And yesterday I caught a butterfly.
And
in a
then
mason
today I came in and it
jar.
died, withered
And
away.
it's that closer is just so poetically.
It's just such like an
frustrating and
admission
sad.
of his own bullshit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, good shit. But I also have to mention this before we end. Only in Dreams is really brilliant. I don't know if you knew this, but that outro of Only in Dreams, like the guitar thing, which is like the build up, it's literally meant to represent masturbating.
Wow.
Really? Have you noticed that?
I've never.
So
noticed
literally, like if you listen to it in that context, you have this slow build, and then da 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 da. That's when he, comes
Sure,
to not mince words, and it's
I've masturbated.
and like so that after the song itself is just heartbreaking because the song is about how like I'm only gonna be able to imagine this, and then he does, and he gets pleasure out of it, but like in a hollow way. Oh, what I'm saying is early Weezer is good.
Yeah, I can tell.
That's
by
my-
that
that's-
sound you just
That's
made.
my point.
That is your point.
Ugh.
Not that Blue Album's better. It's just that
All right,
Weezer
Maddie.
did.
Who won?
I think Weezer won.
Yeah,
Alright.
I think both of y'all lost and Weezer won because both of y'all think this hard about bands, and yeah, that's kind of it.
You have to pick a winner, Maddie.
I don't have to pick a winner.
I mean, I think Brandon had more to say, so in that way he won.
Well, next time we're actually gonna fight. Tune in next time when Luke and I fight over I don't know
Some other bullshit.
some other bullshit. Maybe we'll just physically fight, and that'll be the end of it.
This has been Banger Police, episode 2. Thanks for coming. If you know what I mean.
Thanks for coming, because
If you know what I mean.
referenced masturbation like 2 minutes.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hasta luego. Adios.
Hasta
luego.
Hasta
luego. We can't.
We can't. No, we can't do that.
I'm trying to see if I have. Okay.
All right, Chad, take it away.
We're trying to. Yeah.
Yeah.